Well, we've had a pretty volatile start to the month of October, as advertised here. As said, this certainly could happen. October tends to be somewhat volatile, actually quite volatile. And by the way, that volatility cuts both ways. You can see volatility where basically meaning risk assets drop, but also it can be, we can have very sharp counter trend rallies or just rallies in general, particularly if you look into this October where we really have a lot of things from US-China trade talks, earnings season, Brexit, and a lot more. What I did want to do though quickly, I wanted to just take a few minutes and look at the NASDAQ 100 because technically it sets up very nicely. And give you some perspective, kind of paint the picture, because we've had a lot of people ask us about, hey, can you give us an update on tech stocks? So I figured, hey, what the hell, let's do that. So sure, there you go. All right, so two things. First of all, if you are, unless you're brand new to the channel or to watching my stuff, you've probably heard me talk about, through the lens of technical analysis, the rising wedge patterns. This is a bigger picture one. This one actually spans back to, let's see here, about middle of 2018 is really when we started tracing this thing out, and it's been developing, and we are just now here in early October starting to break below it. Now, it is important to note that when we break below, we usually don't just completely fall apart. There's usually backing and filling. So just before you think this is an outright call to sell everything, we've already had quite a bit of a move. So just note that, but we are starting to break that down, and from an RSI perspective, relative strength index, we are still making lower highs. Now, if we were to sort of zoom into this more closely, we're going to, on the next chart, go into this bit here, and for that we have to go over to this chart over here. And what I did here is I looked at this bigger picture rising wedge. Again, this is the NASDAQ 100, and what you can see here is that within this pattern, we've already had year to date, 2019, one, two, three of these rising wedges. When we fell out of the first one in the spring, it was an 11% move to the downside, I believe. Then in August, we had about an 8% or so, I think, move. And so far, I think we're at about 6%. Now, what's interesting, though, and what may be a little bit, quote unquote, different this time, is that now we are breaking below this the bigger picture pattern that we just talked about here, the wedge, and also we have quite well-defined downside target, if I may say so myself. We have that red line here. That's this line here. That's your 200-day moving average, 200-day, and you have horizontal support on the August lows. That all comes together around the 180 mark. Around 180 is kind of what we're looking at. So I think there may be potential immediate term downside towards that area. But at this point, and I just told our paying clients this, I'm not looking to add any more shorts. We've had shorts. I'm actually looking to take some profits. So I'm going to leave it at that here. But that's what we're doing here. I do think the US-China trade talks could be something where, and of course I don't know this, but for sure, but I have a hunch that they're going to try to obviously kind of patch things up a little bit. Maybe there's sort of a little bit of a trade deal, sort of like a temporary one or something. I have no idea. Maybe we get the complete opposite. But the point is, since we have been right on this call of that volatility would go up at some point in October, didn't think it was going to happen the first 2 days of October, and markets have come down, and all that's kind of working. I think here taking some profits is kind of prudent through the lens of risk management. So I hope it helps folks. Give it a thumbs up, and tell people about our channel here. I'll talk to you soon.